Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends. Welcome to this special edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. It is that time of the week again to count down the 10 hottest cards of the week. And you're going to see in this video that the key driver for card prices moving again is Commander this week. In fact, we're seeing a lot of brand new Commander decks because of Streets of New Capenna. Players are trying to build these new decks, and that is causing an increase in a number of cards, including a bunch of the new ones. Quickly before we get into it though, just a fast reminder, if you go to FlipsideGaming.com, you can use the Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. They have recently restocked all the Streets of New Capenna products, so they have everything you see on the screen as well as the Commander decks. And they have a whole lot of other things on their website as well. Remember, if your order's over $100 or it consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. And also, whenever you use the Heroes promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated. So thank you. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 10 is a card that only comes in foil. It is Marisi, Breaker of the Coil. It goes up 307 this week to 749. That is a 69% increase. And this is a good time to let you know how we compile our top 10 every week. We look at two major pieces of criteria. The first is a percentage increase in the value of the cards, and the second is a true increase in sales out there. So if you're expecting a card to be on the top 10 and it does not make it, well, then it fell short in one or both of those categories this week. But with that out of the way, let's talk more about Marisi. So this has been a fairly popular commander, but it is in the 99 of many builds too, including Rin and Ciri Inseparable. That build just got a push due to the dog and cat support in New Capenna, but you also find Marisi in builds around new cards. Things like Jetmir Nexus of Revels and Jennifer Jetmir II. Plus, it is a good upgrade to the Cabaretti Cacophony Commander deck, and I have seen it in fresh builds around a card from there too, Kit Kanto Mayhem Diva. Number 9 is Rafine Scheming Seer. This is up 357 this week to 850. That is a 72% increase. This is currently found in standard Esper mid-range builds. It's also quickly becoming a popular commander, and it is in the 99 of some other builds too in that format, both old and new. Some of the new decks include Quiza, Augur of Agonies, and Toulouse, Clever Conductor. Many, though, are also picking up Rafine as an upgrade to the Obscura Operation Commander deck, or putting it in fresh builds around cards from there. Kamiz Obscura Oculus, and Tivit Seller of Secrets. Number 8 is Currency Converter, up 383 this week to 648. That is a 145% increase. So this is found in the Obscura Operation Commander deck, and in addition to builds around cards we just talked about, Kamiz and Tivit, this is also in some other new as well as old Commander builds. Some of the other new ones include Rafine, Jolene the Plunder Queen, and Jaxus the Troublemaker. On top of that, Currency Converter did get mentioned on the Command Zone podcast this week as well, which could have brought some more attention to it. Number 7 is our third new card in a row. It is Ledger Shredder. This is up 446 this week to 1050 for a 74% increase. In Pioneer, you do see this now in Esper Greasefang, and of course that is a very popular format currently. A lot of players are building decks trying to solve the format because you have to play Pioneer in those regional championships if you want to get to the Pro Tour. But this card isn't all about Pioneer. It's actually seeing play in a lot of different places. Aspiring Spike was playing 4 copies of this in a modern Ledger Shredder Shadow deck recently. I have seen it show up in a mono blue Legacy Delver deck. And on top of that, players are trying to make this work in some standard and even vintage builds. We'll have to see if it sticks in those formats. But on top of all that, this is also a popular commander card. Go figure. It's in a lot of different builds, old and new there, including Rafine, Falco Spara Pact Weaver, Quiza, Toulouse, and Rigo Streetwise Mentor. But wait, there's more. Ledger Shredder is also a good upgrade to Obscura Operation, and it's in fresh builds around some cards from there. Both Kamiz and Tivit, which we saw earlier, and Oscar Rubbish Reclaimer. Number 6 is Youthful Valkyrie. This is up 470 this week to 990, and that is a 90% increase. In Standard, this is in Mono White Angels, and Pioneer, it's in Selesnya as well as Bant Angels. And those are both new decks that are made possible because of a new card that came out of Streets of New Capenna, and that card is Giada Font of Hope. As a matter of fact, Youthful Valkyrie is also getting a lot of additional commander play in Giada builds in that format. Giada has quickly become a popular commander. Number 5 is Myth Unbound. It goes up 560 this week to 1064. That is a 111% increase. As you may have guessed, this is seeing more commander play now, It is a great upgrade to the Riveteer's Rampage commander deck if you are using Henzi Toolbox Tori as your commander. Also, some players are putting this in fresh builds around Henzi, and even another card from there, Jolene the Plunder Queen. Additionally, I have seen this in commander builds around another new card, that is Rocco Cabaretti Caterer. Number 4 is one of the cards we just mentioned from that Riveteer's Rampage commander deck. It is Jolene the Plunder Queen. This is up 802 this week to 1050. That is a 323% increase. Not only is this a good commander on its own, but it's also in fresh builds around some other cards from that Riveteer's Rampage commander deck. One of which is Henzi, which we just mentioned. The other one is the Beamtown Bullies. Plus, you are seeing this in other commander builds too, old and new. Many times it's in Corvold Chris King decks, and those are seeing a lot more play now, since New Capenna is providing those decks with a lot of support in many different ways. Other new commander decks are running Jolene in their 99 as well, builds like Agnes the Dragon's Lash, Vazzy Keen Negotiator, Ziatora the Incinerator, and Ginny Faye. Number 3 is Angelic Field Marshal. This goes up 861 this week to 1824. That is an 89% increase. And as you might have guessed, this is getting additional commander play in Giada builds. Number 2 is our only reserve list card of the day. It is Unfulfilled Desires. It goes up 937 this week to 1750. That is a 115% increase. So this has seen a little commander play, sometimes in Zur the Enchanter, for example. But I am seeing this occasionally show up in a few builds around a new card, and that card is one we looked at earlier, Oscar. However, I have to say that it is a rather small amount of times that I have seen Unfulfilled Desires show up in these deck lists, and since it is a very large jump for the week, I do feel like it is a targeted reserve list buyout more than anything. Now granted, that buyout was probably based on speculation that Unfulfilled Desires would see more commander play in Oscar builds. And number 1 is another new card. This is Reign of Riches. It's up $14.62 this week to $19. That is a 333% increase if you're doing the math at home. You're going to find this one also in the Riveteer's Rampage commander deck. And as you can imagine, it's also in some fresh builds around a couple cards from there, Henzi, as well as Jolene. Ultimately, though, Reign of Riches is taking off because it is a very good commander card in a lot of builds, since the treasure mechanic has had a ton of support recently. The card is also showing up in Corvold builds, and it's in some other builds around new commanders, including Ziatora, Vazzy, Agnes, and Cyrix, Carrier of the Flame. Alright, that's going to do it for this week's Top 10 Hot Cards. Remember to join us this weekend for our regular episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch, where we deep dive into everything that happens in the secondary market. Until then, though, hey, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.